Oh my god, I just spotted a brand new activity on the OpenCore nightly page. The developers have updated the changelog and added a new incremental build. But what does this actually mean? Is this update important for macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs? Could this fix bugs, or bring new changes we've been waiting for? Let's break everything down and find out in this video. Just a minute ago, I noticed new activity on the OpenCore nightly page. 2 new entries were added. Disable repatching a dirty root volume, and update changelog and increment build. So what does all of this mean? Let's start with the first one. To understand disable repatching a dirty root volume, we first need to understand what root volume patching is. On modern versions of macOS like Big Sur, Ventura, Sonoma, and Tahoe, Apple protects the system using something called a sealed system volume. In simple terms, this means important system files are locked and cannot be modified easily. Older Macs often lack drivers that newer versions of macOS require, such as graphics acceleration, Wi-Fi, USB and audio. OpenCore temporarily unlocks the system, so it can install these missing drivers. Once the drivers are installed, macOS locks the system again, and a fresh system snapshot is created. As a result, newer macOS runs properly on older Macs. Important features work correctly and the system remains secure. What does dirty root volume mean? A dirty root volume simply means the system is not in a clean or ready state. This usually happens when a macOS update was started but not fully completed. Old root patches were not properly removed. The system seal is broken or damaged. OpenCore developers refer to this situation as a dirty root volume. With this update, OpenCore now checks the system first. If it detects that the system seal is broken or the root volume is dirty, OpenCore will refuse to apply patches. Why is this important? Because patching during a macOS update can cause serious problems, such as failed to mount root volume errors, boot failures, black screens, broken graphics acceleration and systems stuck in update loops. Many users faced these issues because patches were applied at the wrong time. By blocking patching on a dirty system, OpenCore completely avoids these conflicts. In very simple terms, OpenCore will no longer patch a messy system. It now requires a clean system, a properly sealed system volume. Which means fewer bugs, fewer black screens, fewer failed boots and much better overall stability. This is a very smart and necessary improvement for anyone using OpenCore Legacy Patcher. Now let's talk about the second entry. A changelog is simply a record of what has changed in the app. When it is updated, it means the developers added a summary of recent fixes or improvements, so users can easily see what's new. So, what does increment build mean? Software versions use numbers like 2.4.1 or 2.4.1 build 234. When the build number is increased, it simply means a new build was created. It was assigned a new internal ID. This helps to identify exactly which version is being used. Confirm whether a build includes the latest changes, and avoid confusion between similar versions. In simple words, this update added recent changes to the app's history, and gave the new build a fresh build number. Nothing major changed for end users here. This is normal background maintenance, to keep the project organized and up to date. If you notice, one thing is common in both of these entries, and that is the label. The label clearly says, main. As I have explained many times in my previous videos, when you see the OpenCore beta labeled main, it does not mean it is for macOS Tahoe. This label refers to the current stable OpenCore version, which at the moment is OpenCore 2.4.1. So, if you have already installed macOS Tahoe on an unsupported Mac using OpenCore Beta 3.0.0, please avoid downloading and installing these beta versions. This build is not meant for Tahoe, and installing it can cause serious issues such as keyboard, trackpad or USB ports may stop working. Or you may even face boot issues on some unsupported Macs. So please be very careful. And make sure you install the correct OpenCore build for macOS Tahoe. And that's it for today's video. If you want to stay updated on the current status of macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs, make sure to check out our OpenCore playlist on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.